Um, Hello? This is really fucking silly, but we're gonna show you this, alright? Oh boy. One sec, where is that? There we go. Hello, everybody. Ah. Hi. How's everybody doing today? uh, Hold on, let's bring back the chat. There we go. uh, yeah, that was Mom, that was the thing that we were talking about being really silly. This hat. uh, this is... Why is it so funny? So basically, uh, about like God knows how long ago it was. I think it's almost a year. This is how I started. This is how my whole character was made, from this little hat right here. uh, it's a very silly thing. Uh, Anyway, how is everybody doing today? It's gonna be starting the debut. Yeah. uh, Gonna be just getting the one thing we need for this whole lore introduction thing open. One moment. Alright. Let's move to the... Alright. There we go. Yeah, it's that hat. uh, Kind of funny that everybody thought it was a cowboy hat. Alright. So, let's ow. God, we need to turn that down at some point. Hold on. Is there a way to... There we go. Hold on. Just turning down the alerts. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming today. Didn't really expect this many people to show up. It's really really means a lot. Oh, okay. Hold on. How are we gonna do this? I don't know. One sec. Just gonna grab an image instead of... Oh god. No, that's not really a good way to do this. Yeah, it's still catching up right now. It got freaked out. Okay. Uh, would this work? No, it's not this one. That doesn't work either. Huh. This is awkward. Scuff. And we forgot to record the whole thing. Right. There we go. Now recording it. Great. Okay. Just one moment. Bear with us. Hopefully this will work. Shit. No. Why is this not working? It's not working. God damn it. How would we open this other than that? What do you mean? Nobody's taking your soul here. uh, Definitely not happening. One sec. This is really scuffed because we didn't test this out before. Whatever. let's just do this the really scuffed way. Okay. This is gonna be the worst way to do this, but this is the only way we can figure out. Okay. This is our little stat block. I just realized it's covering the latest follower. God damn it. Hold on. Let's just put it there. We'll remove it in a bit. Alright. So, this is a mess, right? How do we start making sense of this whole thing? Alright, let's just start from the top left. Okay, we had this plan to like zoom in and stuff, but can't really do that when you're just showing the image on screen because the capture isn't working. And forgot that. Just noticed that there is a wrong. God damn it. Whatever. It's scuffed. It's really scuffed. Okay, so we're technically both undead and a construct at the same time because we are the souls of 3 archmages that were combined to create a very powerful spellcaster. So that would mean we're both an undead and a construct because we're stuck in a pile of sand because some idiot screwed the ritual up and Yeah, now we're here. We're lawful evil. That's self. You know, it, just ignore that. Just ignore that part. Definitely not a very dangerous thing for you. You're not dead. You're talking. That would mean you're not dead, technically. Right. The whole the movement thing explains itself. It's 120 feet for flying because we have 1 sec. How do we show this? That's the lighting. God damn it. Hold on. How would that work? If we did this. Yeah. We have wings. Moment. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, we have wings. Look at them. They're 4. We have 4 wings. You know what? Keep that like this. Just gonna. Yeah. This looks good. Okay, once. Didn't mean to click on that. Oh boy, the internet's really struggling right now. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let's just keep the show running. This really scuffed show. Alright. We have a lot of spell slots, as you can see down there. And just gonna point out that it goes all the way to 12, which is, you know, not a very common thing. Like, definitely not common. And that is misspelled. Great. We'll put the whole, like, fixed version after the whole thing. After the debut is done, we'll put the whole thing up on Twitter. Fixing all the spelling errors because we had to rush this. Alright, we have a Bident. Didn't really make it yet as a, like, a thing we can show to you guys, but it exists. Trust us. It's like a 2-pointed spear, pretty much. And we can teleport at will. That's just being sand and all. It's kind of misleading because we can only teleport to a place with sand. So, yeah. We just need to be able to have sand nearby to do that. Wing attack because we have wings again. And the layer actions are... we can only do those within our library. You can just regain spells, all that nice stuff. But yeah, that's the stat block. There's not much to unpack here. It's pretty obvious. If you want to know a lot more of the lore, there is a document on the what's it called? The Discord. It's public for anybody to view, as long as you're in the Discord. Didn't update it in a while though, but yeah. Alright, let's go to the whole AMA section. Again, we didn't plan anything for this. Okay, let's make this slightly smaller. Okay. Yeah, the if anybody's interested, you can ask any questions you have. Otherwise, we'll answer the ones we got on Discord over the past few weeks. Something like that. Gonna close that one. Oh god. So, what the fuck went wrong there? Just tried to move that and it resized everything. Great. Just minimize it. And I have an answer. Just ask away, if you will. Actually, it started as a joke. Again, from the whole loser hat thing. But it sounded like a very fun idea, and we needed to work on being nice. So, here we are. We're VTubing now. Plus, the character looked like really, really cool, so we didn't want to waste it. Hold on, just gonna drink some tea. Alright. And where's the dock? There it is. It's the whole thing. That's not the right tab to open. Alright. Yeah. Look, the original one was not very it was not very VTubable. Let's just say that. It was funny though. Alright, so yeah, it was great. Oh, we forgot to have all the alerts and stuff on here. Hold on, just gonna copy that, paste that here. There we go. Alright, so let's get started with answering the questions from the Discord. We'll start with all the questions Mom asked, because she asked way too many of them. Alright, so the first one was, what's your favorite book? And listen, this one's kind of controversial, but listen to us before you try to cancel us over liking to read somebody's book. Our favorite book is Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote for Chaos. It has a really, really amazing, has a few like really good advice, and oh god, the internet's really struggling right now. Yeah, it has really good advice, and the whole oh god. Okay, did the stream die? Okay, it didn't. The internet's really dying out here. Oh god. Hold on. It's dying, like really bad. lower the bitrate. Okay, this. Alright. It's still in the red. Scary. But yeah. Do you guys see everything smoothly still? Because we can't really rely on what OBS is showing us right now. Just one person to clarify if the internet's not struggling as much anymore. No, pretty sure it went out. This is, yeah, that very fitting for the debut to go like this. Very fitting. But yeah. The reason why we like Jordan Peterson's book is it has a lot of good advice, and the whole psychology, the whole way puts he talks about his knowledge of psychology and stuff like that. It's really engaging. It's very hard to keep us entertained for very long, and he sure knows how to do it. That's that. Just to clarify, we don't really agree with everything he says, just like we don't agree with everything anybody else says. It's how people work, right? It's fine to disagree with others and still coexist. Right, moving on to the next question. It was, what's your least favorite book? This one's pretty obvious. It's the Twilight books. Moving on. Not gonna dwell on that one. Right. The third question Mom asked was, what's the best type of chair? Now this is a pretty hard one. If we're allowed to say sofas, then that's easily the winner. We just love laying down all the time, but if that's not an option, then it's probably recliner chairs. They're just really comfortable. Hold on. We're not sure if this is working. It's in the fucking red on OBS, so we're kind of fucking nervous. Well, Stream Element seems to think it's working, so guess we'll have to take its word for it. Right, yeah, recliner chairs, they're great. Yeah, thought so. Thank God we're recording this whole thing. Oh boy. Gonna lower the bitrate again, just to try to help it. Oh boy. OBS, did you die? You didn't. Okay, good. Alright. Can't let the fucking internet stop us, so... Let's see. question number 4 from Mom. It was, have you ever swam? To answer that question, it's yes, but we can't really do it anymore. You know, the whole being sand thing. It's kind of tough, kind of sink the whole every fucking time. The internet's being really fucking annoying. For real. Hold on a sec. Just just a moment. Well, it should be doing better now because there's less shit on it, but kind of worrying still. It should be doing better. It should be. It's not, but it should be. It's very fitting that this is the debut stream. Just gonna say that. Oh boy. Maybe we should reschedule this just because the internet's being really trash right now. Why is it like this? Yeah. The thing is, living in a third world country means your internet is always gonna be trash. So, yeah, kind of have to deal with this all the time. It's exactly the whole curse thing. It's supposed to be good. It says it's like over 1,000 kilobits a second. Not sure why. Hold on. Just just one little thing and we'll be back. Alright. We'll keep going despite all the garbage internet. Alright. The last question. No, it's not. It's the second to last question. It's like the fifth one. Just like 6. Alright, so the fifth question is, what games do you like? And the way we want to answer this is just by telling you what our top 3 games are. So the first one is Dark Souls 3, just a really fun game when you suck at it, and even better when you get used to the controls. There's not much else to say about it. It's a really good game. Right. The second one is Xenoblade Chronicles, specifically the first Xenoblade game. Just everything about that game works so fucking well. they the world is really good, and they somehow made it even better in the remake, which we just finished playing like a couple days ago. Kind of have to finish the extra story still, but yeah, it's a very good game. All the characters are made really lovable, even though some of them are assholes. You even get to like those. They're really good at foreshadowing things. Like they literally tell you who the villains are without saying who they are from like the start of the game. It's crazy. Like you can't beat this game. It's just that it's an RPG and Dark Souls is just better. Alright, the third game on here is Kingdom Hearts 3, 2, not 3. Still didn't get to play 3 actually. The reason it's on here, it's obviously one of the first games we've ever played. It's a pretty, it holds a pretty good place. It has a very soft spot for it. Like, can't really put this to word. It's a real weird affection for the game. Just very nostalgic is all. It's still a good game to this day. We've emulated it, and yeah, we've been streaming that a couple times. We got like 10 hours in the game, pretty sure. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking didn't know that fucking this is our first time getting one of those, and it's on the debut. How fitting. How fucking fitting. The first time ever getting one of them. And it's on the debut. It's amazing. Thank God we have the phone right here. Alright, yeah. About Kingdom Hearts 2, right? Yeah, the combat's pretty good for how old the game is. The jokes are pretty solid. The chemistry between Sora, Donald, and Goofy is really good. It's actually pretty amazing. Not gonna lie, it's one of the best trios in gaming ever. Also, we can do a pretty decent Goofy, a pretty decent Goofy impression. We're not gonna do one right here though. Yeah, you'll have to wait till the next time we play Kingdom Hearts. Overall, it's just a really good game. All 3 of them are. But yeah. The last question from Mom, it was, what's your favorite color? Now, unexpectedly, you wouldn't be able to guess this normally. It's pink actually. Especially if you combine it with black. Best color combination ever. And ask away, Chimpy. Oh god. You don't have to say I have a question. Just ask it. What? Not sure what exactly you mean by that one. Yeah, not really sure what exactly that means. But yes, hi. Alright, moving on with the Discord questions. Shiro, which is he's not here right now, but he asked cereal or milk first. And to this we say, do you even have to ask that one? It's really obvious. It's cereal first. Why would anybody that is sensible pour the liquid in first? You do realize that cereal floats, right? That means you won't be able to fit as much cereal in the bowl. That's the objective answer. Case closed. Don't ever bring this up ever again. Right? The moment. Did it? It's not showing that it did. Everything is on there. It might be something causing your messages to not send. Which does that sometimes. It's really weird. Regardless, we have 3 questions left. And the ones that we got asked on Discord. And they're from Yishka. She's another VTuber. She's really cool. It's been a while since we've talked though, but yeah, she's a really cool VTuber. She's a demon lord, I'm pretty sure. She asked, what is our favorite type of monsters are, and we took this as in D&D terms. And if that's the case, it's between constructs and monstrosities. The latter wins by sheer number of cool things in that category. Like, for real, it has krakens and shit like that on it. But constructs really have amazing potential, and it's kind of sad that they didn't really use it that much in 5e. So we didn't get to experience all the cool stuff it could bring into the game. Yeah, pretty sure that's technically what you are. So yes, hi nephew. Right. Yishka also asked if we liked Berserk, which is the manga or anime. Depends on which one you watched. Well, we didn't actually watch or read Berserk, but it looks like a really cool thing. Like, sadly, we missed the thing people did in Final Fantasy XIV when the creator died. That was really amazing. Actually, it was the dedication of the Final Fantasy community is surprisingly, like, really fucking huge. Like, if you hold on, we're pulling a video of that right now. Hold on. We have to show you this. It's just that cool. Right? Hold on. Just a couple seconds, moving. Hold up. We're getting there. Just get the fuck out of here. Gonna go down here. One moment to work out the window capture. Alright. There it is. It's gonna do this. Nah. We'll stop the music for a moment. Just to show you how cool this is. Oh, right. We have the thing muted. There we go. Oh god, it's really loud. One sec. But yeah, it was just a lot of people were just standing there with their Dark Knight stuff. It's surprisingly a lot of people for that game. It's like you rarely ever see this many people around. At the time, it was like towards the end of Shadow. What the fuck was it called? Shadow Walker? Forgot. How did we forget the DLC's name? uh, hold up. What? But yeah, it's just a really cool thing. Shadowbringers, that's what it was called. Right. But yeah, that's that. Also, the person in the game is playing the Berserk theme. It was just really, really wholesome. The oop. Going back to the just chatting thing, turning back the music. Alright. Okay, what were we doing again? Right, answering questions that were at. Yeah, Berserk seems really cool. Didn't really get the chance to watch it or read the thing. We'll probably do that sometime soon. And the last question we have here is Godzilla or Mothra? Well, obviously it's Mothra, just look at how fluffy that thing is, but you mean in a fight that probably Godzilla because plot armor is kind of annoying. But yeah, Mothra for the win. Moths are great. Okay, that's all the questions we have. Good luck with your chores. We'll probably be here for like several hours. And thank you for following, Denka. It's been a while, actually. How are you doing, man? It's been like a really long time since we talked. If anybody has any questions, then we can uh, answer them if you'd like to ask. Yeah, a lot of people did. It's been real scuffed. it's been it's been real scuffed because of like the whole internet thing being like really trash. Still struggling right now. But yeah, there is just one segment left. The actual debut is basically done right now. There is just one thing left that we have to do. That thing is the stupid promise that we made several months ago. That we still remember. And it is just a moment. It's loading. Yeah, thank you. The model came out better than we actually expected. It's really good. Boxy did an amazing job on it. Yeah, don't mind the hat though. we kinda made that ourselves. Alright. Going back here. And opening window capture again. There it is. We're reading the entirety of the Epic of Gilgamesh for the stream. If anybody is here for like the actual debut, that's over. This is gonna be a reading. We're kind of changing the title. One sec. Yeah, thank God we have all the tea here. Alright. Title updated. Oh, right. Forgot to add the tag though. Wow. There it is. Oh, forgot to add the end. Forgot to remove the end game tag. That's funny. Thank you everybody for not pointing that one out. Okay. So, this is the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest surviving notable literary work. It's gonna have to find a way to zoom in. Because we can't fucking read this. We could zoom in before. Oh, from here. This is scuffed. Okay. It's right here. There it is. Finally loaded properly for this page. A lot of people really like Enkidu. He's cool. Just one moment, gonna pour more tea in here. Just the sugar and there's the honey. Yeah, it's kinda nuts. Alright. Is the music too loud, by the way? Didn't ask us before, but is the music fine? We're covering the chat a bit too much. There we go. This should be a good position. Alright. Yeah. Few... Hold on. This is gonna be faster. Not really used to writing on this keyboard because our keyboard is dead. We ran out of batteries just before stream. Okay. You can't hear the BGM. Oh boy. Hold on, one sec. Just gonna mute the mic. And it's supposed to be like half. We haven't really turned down on the player itself, but on the audio, we can raise it for the stream if you guys would like. Hold on, just a bit. How's this right now? Oh boy, everybody's following today. How are you doing, Spooky? It's been a while since we've been able to make it to your streams, actually. Just gonna turn ourselves up just a tiny bit. Yeah, everybody loves Enkidu. He's great. Okay, the way we're gonna do this is, didn't mean to fucking press on that, is basically we're gonna be taking short breaks between every 3 pages just to give our voice a little rest, because this is a very long thing. That's, you can't, can you see it actually? Hold on. Yeah, you can see it. It's 27 pages. And yeah, it's, every page is filled with dialogue, like text and stuff. So the way we're gonna do is we're gonna take frequent breaks, and just to not murder ourselves like we do in the SCP readings. And yeah. Yeah, we've seen ones that are like 100, 200 pages. That won't be that won't be very doable on stream. So let's get started on this. So Gilgamesh, King in Urk. I will proclaim to the world the deeds of Gilgamesh. This was the man to whom all things were known. This was the king who knew the countries of the world. He was wise, he saw mysteries and knew secret things. He brought us a tale of the days before the flood. He went on a long journey, was weary, worn out with labor. Returning, he rested, he engraved on a stone the whole story. When the gods created Gilgamesh, they gave him a perfect body. We can't really recall all the names of the characters. It's been a really long time since we've heard the summary of the story. So this is gonna be like a first read, actually. Yeah, where were we? Yeah, Shamash, the glorious sun, endowed him with beauty. Adad, the god of the storm, endowed him with courage. The great gods made his beauty perfect, surpassing all others, terrifying like a great wild bull. Two things they made him: God and 1/3 man. 2/3 they made him God and 1/3 man. Okay, so this is really wacky. So he is 66% God. Interesting. Didn't know about that one. In Urk, he built walls, a great rampart, and the temple of blessed Inlan for the gods of the firmament. Anu. Who the fuck is Anu? And for Ishtar, the... Oh, he's the god of the We see. We're kinda tired, if you couldn't tell. And for Ishtar, the goddess of love. Hold on. Look at it still today. The outer wall where the cornice runs, it shines with the brilliance of copper, and the inner wall it has no equal. Touch the threshold. It is ancient. Approach Inan, the dwelling of Ishtar, Our Lady of Love and War. the like of which no latter-day king nor man alive can equal. Climb upon the wall of Urk. Walk along it, I say. Regard the fountain terrace, and examine the masonry. It is not burnt brick. Is it not... Hold on. Is it not burnt brick and good? This is confusing. The 7 sages laid the foundations. So, this is supposed to be a sketch of the ancient Near East of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a very lengthy country. Now we see. Okay. The whole thing about the wall, it's from what we heard, it comes back several fucking times. The coming of Enkidu. Gilgamesh went abroad in the world, but he met with none who could withstand his arms, till he came to Urk. But the men of Urk muttered in their houses. Gilgamesh sounds the tocsin for his amusement. His arrogance has no bounds, by day or night. No son is left with his father, for Gilgamesh takes them all, even the children. Yet the king should be a shepherd to his people. His lust leaves no virgin to his love. Oh god. That's yeah, no. That's kinda wacky. We don't do that here. Neither the warrior's daughter nor the wife of the noble. Jesus fucking Christ, this guy. He's popping off. Yet this is the shepherd of the city, wise, calmly, and resolute. The gods heard their lament. The gods of heaven cried to the Lord of Urk, to Anu, the god of Urk. A goddess made him strong as a savage bull. None can withstand his arms. No son is left to his father. Gilgamesh takes them all. Blah 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 blah. It's the whole thing. Again, they have this thing with repeating lines, from what I noticed. And this is the king, the shepherd of the people. It's also blah 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 blah. When Anu had heard their lamentation, the gods cried to Aru, the goddess of creation. You made him. Their names are weird. Yeah, it's an epic. We do realize that one. Epics are supposed to be played as music and stuff. And thank you for following, Trash Panda. Welcome to our library. You can ask any questions if you're curious. Yeah, it doesn't work very well in translation. It's the same thing with all the Greek epics and stuff like that. Epics don't usually work when you translate them. You have to say them in the original language for them to sound the way they are intended. God, tea is amazing. Okay. Where were we? Now create his equal. Uh, Let it be as like him as his own reflection. The second half, stormy heart for stormy heart. Let them contend together and leave Urk in quiet. Uruk in quiet, yeah. So the goddess conceived an image in her mind, and it was of the stuff of Anu, of the firmament, of the firmament, of the firmament. She dipped her hands in water and pinched off clay. She let it fall in the wilderness, and the noble Enkidu was created. It's our boy. There was virtue in him, of the god of war, of Ninurta himself. His body was rough. He had long hair like a woman's. It is weaved like the hair of Nishiba, the goddess of corn. That's nice. They have a goddess of corn. That's another one we didn't know about before. His body was covered with matted hair like Samugans, the goddess of the god of cattle. He was innocent. He was innocent of mankind. He knew nothing of the convoluted land, cultivated land. Oh god. Enkidu ate the grass. Enkidu ate grass in the hills with the gazelle and lurked with the wild beasts at the water holes. He had joy of the water with the herds of wild game. Oh god. There's something in our nose. One sec. Just gotta go clear our nose for a moment. Alright. Where were we? For the wild game had entered his territory. On 3 days he met him face to face. And the trapper was frozen with fear. He went back to his house with the game that he had caught, and he was dumb, benumbed with terror. His face was altered like that of one who made a long journey. With awe in his heart, he spoke to his father. Father, there is a man, unlike any other, who comes down from the hills. He is the strongest in the world. He is like an immortal from heaven. He reigns over the hills with the wild beasts and eats grass. The ranges through your land and comes down to the walls. I'm afraid and dare not go near him. He fills in the pits which I dig and tears up my traps set for the game. He helps the beasts to escape, and now they slip through my fingers. His father opened his mouth and said to the trapper, "My son, in Uruk lives Gilgamesh. No one has ever prevailed against him. He is strong as a star from heaven. Go to Uruk, find Gilgamesh, extol the strength of this wild man." Ask him to give you a Herald, a lantern from the Temple of Love. Return with her, and let her woman's power overpower this man. Yikes. That's kind of fucking yucky, not gonna lie. Like, they're gonna just fucking seduce him? Well, guess we should have expected this from an epic. Not gonna lie. When next he comes down to drink at the wells, she will be there. Not gonna say that part. And when he sees her beckoning, he will embrace her. Okay. And then the wild beasts will reject him. Oh god. That's no. Nah. That's not fine. That's not okay. So the trapper set out on his journey to Uruk and addressed himself to Gilgamesh, saying, "A man unlike any other is roaming now in the pastures. He is as strong as a star from heaven, and I am afraid to approach him. He helps the wild beasts, pretty sure. Hold on, going back. The wild game to escape. He fills in my pits and pulls up my traps." Gilgamesh said, "Trapper, go back. Take with you a herald, a child of light." No. Okay. At the drinking hole, she will. Okay. Yeah. The game of the wilderness will surely reject them. Yep. This is kinda wacky, not gonna lie. Just noticed we hit 69 followers. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Now the trapper returned. Taking the herald with him, after 3 days' journey, they came to the drinking hole, and there they sat down. The herald and the trapper sat facing one another and waited for the game. Fucking stupid bug, get away from the screen. Facing one another and waited for the game to come. For the first day and the second day, the two sat waiting. But on the third day, the herds came. They came down to drink, and Enkidu was with them. The small wild creatures of the plain were glad of the water, and Enkidu with them, who ate grass with the gazelle and born in the hills. And she saw him, the savage man, come from far off in the hills. The trapper spoke to the hare. The trapper spoke to her. "There he is now, woman, blah blah, no, nuh-uh, not gonna read that part." Yeah, this is not very wholesome. This is not very fucking wholesome. Yeah, yeah, it was back then. Now it's kinda wacky. Where can we read without, you know, risking to get banned off Twitch for, reading some wacky shit? Jesus fucking Christ. Enkidu had forgotten his home in the hills, but when he was satisfied, he went back to the wild beasts. Then, when the gazelle saw him, they bolted away. When the wild creatures saw him, they fled. Enkidu would have followed, but his body was bound as though with a cord. His knees gave way when he started to run. His swiftness was gone, and now the wild creature had all the wild creatures had all yeah, yeah. Yeah, it probably won't. I'm just gonna skip all the not very wholesome parts. You know. Yeah, where were we? And now the wild creatures had all fled away. Enkidu was grown weak, for wisdom was in him, and the thoughts of a man were in his heart. So he returned and sat down at the woman's feet, and listened intently to what she said. You're wise, Enkidu, and now you have become like a god. Okay, kinda weird. But you want to run wild with the beasts in the hills. Come with me, I will take you to strong walled Uruk, to the blessed temple of Ishtar, of Anu, and of Anu. Of love and of heaven, there Gilgamesh lies, who is very strong and like a wild bull. He lords it over men. Yeah, it's some parts are gonna have to be skipped for purposes of me not getting banned. Because Twitch is kind of wild. They're kind of trigger fucking happy. If this was a fucking YouTube video, this would be fine. It would get age restricted, but we could say it. But yeah, no, we can't do that on fucking Twitch. Yes. When she had spoken, Enkidu was pleased. He longed for a comrade, for one who would understand his art. Come, woman, and take me to that holy temple, to the house of Anu and of Ishtar, and to the place where Gilgamesh lords it over the people. I will challenge him boldly. I will cry out loud in Uruk. I am the strongest here. I have come to change the old order. I am he who was born in the hills. I am who is strongest of all. She said, let us go. Let him see your face. I know very well where Gilgamesh is in Great Uruk. O Enkidu. There all the people are dressed in their gorgeous robes. Every day and holiday, the young men and the girls were wonderful to see. How sweet they smell. All the great ones are roused from their beds. O Enkidu, you who love life, I will show you, where is it? Gilgamesh, a man of many moods. Kind of a weird way to put it. It probably sounded a lot more fitting in the original language, but in English it doesn't sound very, it sounds kind of wacky. You shall look at him, well in his radiant manhood. That can be interpreted in many ways. Let us not interpret it in a very wrong way. His body is perfect in strength and maturity. He never rests by night or day. He is stronger than you. So leave your boasting. Oh God. Where was it? Shamash, the glorious sun, has given favors to Gilgamesh. and Anu of the heavens, and Enlil and Ea, the wise, has given him deep understanding. Shall you even before you have left the wilderness, Gilgamesh will know in his dreams that you are coming. Now Gilgamesh got up to tell his dreams to his mother, Ninsun, one of the wise gods. Mother, last night I had a dream. I was full of joy. The young heroes were around me, and I walked through the night under the stars of the firmament, and a meteor of the stuff of Anu fell down from the heaven. I tried to lift it, but it proved too heavy. All the people of Uruk came round to see it. The common people jostled, and the nobles thronged to kiss its feet. And to me, its attraction was like the love of women. They helped me. I braced my forehead, and I raised it with thongs and brought it to you. You yourself pronounce it my brother. That's wacky. Then Ninsun, who is well beloved and wise, said to Gilgamesh, "The star of heaven which descended like a meteor from the sky, which you tried to lift but found too heavy. When you tried to move it, it would not budge, and so you brought it to my feet. I made it for you, a golden spur, and you were drawn as though to a woman." That's, yeah, kinda horny. This is the strong comrade, the one who brings help to his friend in his need. He is the strongest of wild creatures, the stuff of Anu, born in the grasslands, and the wild hills reared him. When you see him, you will be glad. You will love him as a woman, and he will never forsake you. That's implying some very gay stuff. This is the meaning of the dream. Gilgamesh said, Mother, I dreamed a second dream. In the streets of strong-walled Uruk, there lay an axe, and the shape of it was strange, and the people thronged round it. I saw it and was glad. I bent down, deeply drawn towards it. I loved it like a woman wore it at my side. Vincent answered, that axe which you saw, which you drew so powerfully, like the love of a woman, that is the comrade whom I give you, and he will come in his strength like one of the host of heaven. He is the brave companion who rescues his friend in necessity. Gilgamesh said to his mother, a friend, a counselor, has come to me from Enlil, and now I shall befriend and counsel him. So Gilgamesh told his dreams, and the herald retold them to Enkidu. Yeah, kiss your homies. And now she said to Enkidu, when I look at you, you have become like a god. Why do you yearn to run wild again with the beasts in the hills? Get up from the ground, the bed of a shepherd. He'll listen to her words with care. It was good advice that she gave. She divided her clothing into with one half she clothed him, and with the other herself. That's a lot. That might be a lot of fucking fabric, or they're barely fucking. Yeah, they're either barely fucking covering themselves or that she's wearing a shit ton of clothes. And holding his hand, she led him like a child to the sheepfolds, into the shepherd's tent. There, there all the shepherds crowded around to see him. They put down bread in front of him. I don't know. Can you really kiss your online homies though? That's that's kind of debatable. But Enkidu could only suck the milk of wild animals. He fumbled and gasped, at a loss for what to do or how he should eat the bread and drink the strong wine. Then the woman said, Enkidu, eat bread, it is the staff of life. Oh, so they eat bread instead of rice. That's very different here. Usually in Arabic, uh, in Arabic places, we live off rice more than anything else. It's very interesting to see what others would consider the main food source, I guess. Hold on. Fuck. One sec. This is very worrying. One moment just to make sure I am not having a heart attack. Okay, really sorry about that one. That was really scary. I'm sorry. Just felt a really sharp pain in my chest. And I worried that was just me dying, so I had to go drink some water. Right now, it seems to be better. we, we can still carry on with the stream. Alright, where were we? No, that's why it was scary. But yeah, it's we're fine now. Everything is okay. We can keep on going with this. Honestly, not very sure. It's, pretty sure it was about, how long would that be? From 5 a.m. to, well, yeah, around 7 hours of sleep. Yeah, just gonna pour a third cup of tea. Then we'll continue reading. We want to get at least halfway through this one. Oh god. Didn't fucking notice that. One sec. We didn't close the stupid honey thing properly, so now it's leaking all over the place. After this debut, I'm changing this fucking can. I'm putting it in something more reliable. Because it's really fucking annoying to close this. One sec, gonna go wash this real quick. It's really sticky. Okay, back now. The honey can is all clean. Make sure to close it properly this time. don't really want to be cleaning up the fucking table because it has honey all over it. And if it got on the fucking laptop cooler, that would be fucking annoying. That would be a nightmare to clean. Like, how would you even clean that off? Like, honey is really hard to clean by itself. If you put it on something like a fucking cooling pad, that's just a nightmare. In fact, just to make sure that doesn't happen, then I'll put that on the floor. Okay. Where did we stop? It's right here. Drink the wine is the custom of the land. So he ate till he was full and drank strong wine 7 goblets. That's a lot. He became merry, his heart exalted, and his face shone. Pretty sure that just means his fucking face was red as fuck because he was drinking so much. He rubbed down the matted hair of his body and anointed himself with oil. Enkidu had become a man, but when he had put on a man's clothing, he appeared like a bridegroom? Hold on, what exactly does that mean? That's the first time we've ever heard that word. Just making sure. Yeah, it's not that. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Nobody says the word in its fully, in its entirety. That's why we didn't know what it meant. Right. He took arms to hunt the lions, so that the shepherds could rest at night. He caught wolves and lions, and the herdsmen lay down in peace. For Enkidu was their watchman, that strong man who had no rival. He was merry, living with the shepherds, till one day, lifting his eyes, he saw a man approaching. He said to the herald, "Oh God, one sec. There is something we have to deal with. One moment." Okay, sorry about that one. Wow, that's stupid. Okay, well, where were we? Not gonna comment much on what the fuck just happened because it's not very worth it. Not gonna lie. uh, woman, fetch that man here. Why has he come? I wish to know his name. Also, thank you for following, Neos. One moment though. For some reason, the alerts appear to not make any sound anymore. Are they even appearing right now? They are. It's supposed to be anyway. Whatever. She went and called the man, saying, Sir, where are you going on this weary journey? Okay. The man answered, saying to Enkidu, Gilgamesh has gone into the marriage house and shut out the people. He does strange things in Uruk, the city of great streets. At the roll of the drum, work begins for the men, and work for the women. Gilgamesh the king is about to celebrate marriage with the Queen of Love, and he still demands to be the first with the bride. The king to be first and the husband to follow. For that was ordained by the gods from his birth. From the time the umbilical cord was cut, but now the drums roll for the choice of the bride and the city groans. It's a very weird way to describe a city groaning. Are they like not very hype for it? Where was it? At these words, Enkidu turned white in the face. I will go to the place where Gilgamesh lords it over the people. I will challenge him boldly, and I will cry aloud in Uruk. I have come to change the old order, for I am the strongest here. Now Enkidu strode in front of the woman, and the woman followed behind. He entered Uruk, that great market, and all the folk thronged around him. Where he stood in the streets in strong-walled Uruk, the people jostled. Speaking of him, they said, "He is the spit of Gilgamesh. He is shorter. He is bigger of bone. That is the oh boy." He's shorter and he has thicker bones. Nice. This is the one who was reared of the milk of wild beasts. He is the greatest strength. His is the greatest strength. The men rejoiced. Now Gilgamesh has met his match, the great one, this hero whose beauty is like God. He is a match even for Gilgamesh. It's very interesting how dudes with long hair was considered good looking even like 4,000 years ago. That's funny. which is, by the way, the amount of time that passed since this thing was written, which is why it is not very family friendly. In Uruk, the bridal bed was made fit for the goddess of love. The bride waited for the bridegroom. But in the night, Gilgamesh got up and came to the house. Then Enkidu stepped out. He stood in the street and blocked the way. Mighty Gilgamesh came on and Enkidu met him at the gate. He put on his foot and prevented Gilgamesh from entering the house. So they grappled, holding each other like bulls. They broke the door posts, and the walls shook. They snorted like bulls locked together. They shattered the door posts, and the walls shook. Gilgamesh bent his knee with his foot planted on the ground, and with a turn Enkidu was thrown. Then immediately his fury died. When Enkidu was thrown, he said to Gilgamesh, "There is not another like you in this world, Ninsen, who is as strong as the wild ox in the byre. She was the mother who bore you, and now you are raised above all men. And Enlil has given you the kingship for your strength, surpasses the strength of men." So Enkidu and Gilgamesh embraced their friendship, and their friendship was sealed. What a very amazing way to befriend somebody. You just wrestle and then you just become best buddies. Very traditional. Okay. The forest journey. Enlil of the mountain, the father of the gods, had decreed the destiny of Gilgamesh. So Gilgamesh dreamed, and Enkidu said, "The meaning of the dream is this: the father of the gods has given you kingship. Such is your destiny. Everlasting life is not your destiny. Because of this, do not be sad at heart. Do not be grieved or oppressed. He has given you power to bind and to loose, to be the darkness and the light of mankind. He has given you unexampled supremacy over the people, victory in battle from which no fugitive returns, in forays and assaults from which there is no going back. But do not abuse this power. Deal justly with your servants in the palace. Deal justly before Shamash." The eyes of Enkidu were full of tears, and his heart was sick. He sighed bitterly, and Gilgamesh met his eye and said, "My friend, why do you sigh so bitterly?" But Enkidu opened his mouth and said, "I am weak. My arms have lost their strength. The cry of sorrow sticks in my throat. I am oppressed by idleness." It was then that the Lord Gilgamesh turned his thoughts to the country of the living, in the land of Sidar. The Lord Gilgamesh reflected. He said to his servant Enkidu, "I have not established my name stamped on bricks as my destiny decreed. Therefore, I will go to the country where the Sidar is felled. I will set up my name in the palace where the names of famous men are written, and where no man's name is written. I will raise a monument of the gods because of the evil that is the land. We will go to the forest and destroy the evil, for the forest lives. For in the forest lives Humbaba. That's an amazing name. That's a great name. Humbaba. Whose name is Hugeness, a ferocious giant. But Enkidu sighed bitterly and said, "When I went with the wild beasts raging through the wilderness, I discovered the forest. Its length in 10,000 leagues in every direction. Enlil has appointed Humbaba to guard it and armed him 3/7-fold. Yeah, he's supposed to be huge. uh, uh, Sevenfold terror is terrible to all flesh is terrible to all flesh is Humbaba. When he roars, it's like the torrent of the storm. His breath is like fire, and his jaws are death itself. He guards the Sadar so well that when the wild uh, Eifer stirs in the forest, uh, though she is 60 leagues distant, he hears her. When men would willingly walk into that country and explore its stuff, what man would willingly walk into that country and explore its depths? I tell you, weakness overpowers whoever goes near it. It is not an equal struggle when one fights with Humbaba. uh, that name will never get old. Humbaba. He is a great warrior, a battering ram. Gilgamesh, the watchman of the forest, never sleeps. A battering ram, Gilgamesh. The watchman of the forest never sleeps. I see. That's the way it's supposed to be said. Take too many pauses. ST. TT. Gilgamesh replied, "Where is the man who can clamber the heavens? Only the gods live forever with glorious Shamash. But as for us men, our days are numbered. Our occupation are our breath of wind, which how is this? Already you are afraid. I will go first, although I am your lord, and you may safely call out. Why are there spelling errors in this? Forward there is nothing to fear. Then if I fall, I leave behind me a name of endurance. Men will save me. Gilgamesh has fallen in fight with ferocious Humbaba. Long after the child has been bony in my house, they will say it. And remember, Enkidu spoke again to Gilgamesh. "O my lord, if you will enter that country, go first to the hero Shamash. Kill the sun god, for the land is his. The country where the stars cut belongs to Shamash." One sec. I'm gonna get the tissues right here, because this is getting really annoying. we're back. Yeah, we may or may not have an allergic reaction to tea. Okay, where were we? Right here. One moment though. Just gonna check how. Yeah, this is just fine. Gilgamesh took up a kid, white without spot, and a brown one with it. It, it. Why? Why is the kid an it? That's kind of sad, to be honest. He held them against his breast, and he carried them into the presence of the sun. He took in his hand his silver scepter. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, being referred to as it is not very nice. His, and he said to the glorious Shamash, why is that like spelled out? I am going to that country, O Shamash. I am going, my hands supplicate, so let it be well with my soul and bring me back to what? The Quay of Uruk. I beseech your protection and let the omen be good. Glorious Shamash answered, Gilgamesh, you are strong, but what is the country of the living to you? O Shamash, hear me. Hear me, Shamash, let my voice be heard. Here in the city man dies oppressed at heart. Man perishes with despair in his heart. I have looked over the wall, and I see the bodies floating on the river. Why are there bodies floating on the river? It's kind of disturbing. And that will be my lot, also. Is that like how they bury people in their culture? They just send them down a river like the fucking Vikings, but without burning them? Kinda wacky. Okay, well, we can dig that. That will be my lot also. Indeed, I know it is. It is so. For whoever is tallest among men cannot reach the heaven, and the greatest cannot encompass the earth. Therefore I would enter that country. What exactly doesn't make sense? Like sending people down a river? A lot of people do that. They just fucking send people down rivers. The case of Vikings, they just burn them while they're being sent down a river. Here, I'm guessing they just chuck them in the river. It's weird. Before I would enter that country, because I have not established my name stamped on brick as my destiny decreed. I will go to that country where the Sadar is cut. By the way, Sadar is has always been a holy tree. Hold on, just gonna show you what exactly it is. Apparently Uh, apparently, you can use the leaves that are crushed to like deal with dandruff, which is really neat. There it is. One moment. This is what it is. This type of tree. But yeah. It's always been kind of a holy tree for some reason. Not really sure why. Even in Islam, apparently they're one of the trees in heaven, which is pretty neat. But yeah, what else is there? Where were we right now? I will set up my name where the names of famous men are written and where no man's name is written. I will raise a monument to the gods. The tears ran down his face, and he said, "Alas, it is a long journey that I must take to the land of Humbaba. If this enterprise is not to be accomplished, why did you move me?" Shamash, with the restless desire to perform it, how can I succeed if you will not succor me? If I die in that country, I will die without rancor. But if I return, I will make a glorious offering of gifts and praise to Shamash. So Shamash accepted the sacrifice of his tears. Like the compassionate man, he showed him mercy. He appointed strong allies for Gilgamesh, sons of one mother, and stationed them in the mountain caves. The great winds he appointed: the north wind, the whirlwind, the stone and the icy wind, the tempest and the scorching wind, like vipers, like dragons. As dragons were a thing back then? Like a scorching fire, I like a serpent that freezes the heart, a destroying flood, and the lightning's fork. Such were they, and Gilgamesh rejoiced. He went to the forge and said, I will give orders to the armorers. They shall cast us our weapons while we watch them. So they gave orders to the armorers, and the craftsmen sat down in conference. They went into the grooves of the plains, uncut willow and boxwood. They cast them for axes of 90 pounds, and great swords. What's that? Yeah, I know that one. We humans are biologically engineered to instinctively fear snakes in particular, actually. Because back in the day, the humans were a really easy prey for snakes. Very, very easy prey for snakes. So your natural reaction would be, fuck, I'm about to die. And that's why, that's actually something we learned from Jordan Peterson's book. See, that's why that book is our favorite. Where were we again? The great swords they cast were blades of 6 score pounds each one. With pommels and hilts of 30 pounds, they cast for Great Gilgamesh the axe Might of Heroes. That's a very weird name for an axe. But yeah, what the fuck happened? Well, what did we accidentally press by putting our phone down on our... Okay, great. Pretty sure it was around there. Love the scuff. Love it. Come on. Come on, load in. But yeah, the reason... apparently, the reason dragons always exist in mythology is, they're just amalgamations of reptiles and stuff like that. Reptiles, big cats, and other things. One sec. But yeah, it's basically dragons are the amalgamation of the scariest parts of reptiles and felines. Which again, you're always gonna be scared of snakes and big cats. So that's something interesting. Okay, where were we now? Yeah, Might of Heroes, really weird name for an axe. And the bow of Anshan. And Gilgamesh was armed, and Enkidu. And the weight of the arms they carried was 30 score pounds. How much does that weigh? How much does 30 score pounds weigh? Hold on. A score is 20. So 30 times 20. What the fuck? That's a little too fucking heavy for normal people. Just gonna say that. That's about as fucking heavy as some fat people. Like really obese people. Like morbidly obese. Yeah, imagine having to carry on your entire body like 6 other people. That would be a accurate representation of how heavy this shit would be. The people collected, and the counselors in the streets and in the market of the place of Urk. They came through the gate of 7 bolts, and Gilgamesh spoke to those in the marketplace. I, Gilgamesh, go to see the creature of whom such things are spoken, the rumors of whose name fills the world. I will conquer him in his cedar wood, and show the strength of the sons of Uruk. All the world shall know that I am committed to this enterprise, to climb the... Stupid bugs! I am committed to this enterprise, to climb the mountain to cut down the cedar. You leave behind me an enduring name. The counselors of Uruk, the great market, answered him. Gilgamesh, you are young. Your courage carries you too far. You cannot know what this enterprise means. Which you plan. We heard that Humbaba is not like men who die. His weapons are such that none can stand against them. The forest stretches for 10,000 leagues in every direction. Who would willingly go explore its depths? As for Humbaba, he roars. He roars. It is like the torrent of the storm. When he roars, it is like the torrent of the storm. His breath is like fire. His jaws are death itself. Why do you crave to do this thing? Gilgamesh, why do you crave to do this thing, Gilgamesh? It is no equal struggle when one fights with Humbaba, the battering ram. When he heard those words of the counselors, Gilgamesh looked at his friend and laughed. How shall I answer them? Shall I say I am afraid of Humbaba? I will sit at home and all the rest of my days. Then Gilgamesh opened his mouth again and said to Enkidu, My friend, let us go to the great palace, to Igalma, and stand before Ninsun, the queen. Ninsun is wise with deep knowledge. She will give us counsel for the road. For the road we must go. They took each other by hand as they went to Igalma, and they went to Ninsun, the great queen. Thank God they're both dudes. Otherwise, they're gonna be having hand babies like that one SCP. Yeah, that's gonna be a running joke here. Hand babies. Gilgamesh approached. He entered the palace and spoke to Ninsun. Ninsun, will you listen to me? I have a long journey to go. To the land of Humbaba, I must travel an unknown road and fight a strange battle. From the day I go until I return, till I reach the Sadar forest and destroy the evil which Shamash abhors, pray for me to Shamash. Hold on, just to clarify, is this Humbaba dude supposed to be a giant fucking dragon? That would make a lot of sense, according to the way they've been describing him. It's either a giant fucking demon or a big dragon. Either way, it's a pretty cool thing. Ninsun went into her room. She put on a dress becoming to her body. She put on jewels to make... Okay! No! She placed a tiara on her head and her skirt swept to the ground. Then she went up to the altar of the sun. Standing upon the roof of the palace, she burnt incense and lifted her arms to Shamash as the smoke ascended. O Shamash, why did you give this restless heart to Gilgamesh? My son, why did you give it? You have moved him. You have moved him, and now he sets out on a journey to the land of Humbaba, to travel an unknown road and fight a strange battle. Therefore, from the day that he goes till the day he returns, until he reaches the Sadar forest, until he kills Humbaba, and destroys the evil thing which you, Shamash, abhor. Do not forget him, but, but, but let the dawn, Aya, your dear bride, remind you always. And when a day is done, give him to the watchman of the night, to keep him from harm. Then Ninsun, the mother of Gilgamesh, extinguished the incense, and she called to Enkidu with his exor with this ex what? How are we supposed to say that word? One moment. Just gonna see how this is supposed to be pronounced. Exhortation? Exhortation. There we go. English is a hard language. And she called to Enkidu with this exhortation. Strong Enkidu, you are not the child of my body, but I will receive you as my adopted son. You are my other child, like the foundlings that they bring to the foundlings they bring to the temple. Serve Gilgamesh as a foundling serves the temple, and the priestess who reared him, and the priestess who reared him. In the presence of my woman, any votaries and hierophants, I declare it. Then she placed the amulet for a pledge around his neck, and she said to him, I entrust my son to you. Bring him back to me safely. Sheesh. And now they brought to them weapons. They put in their hands the great swords and the golden scabbards, and the bow and the quiver. Gilgamesh took the axe. Gilgamesh. He slung the quiver from his shoulder, and the bow of Anshan buckled the sword to his belt. And so they were armed and ready for the journey. Now all the people came and pressed them and said, When will you return to the city? The counselors blessed Gilgamesh and warned him, Do not trust too much in your own strength. Be watchful, restrain your blows at first. The one who goes in front protects his companion. The good guide who knows the way guards his friend. Let Enkidu lead the way. He knows the road of the forest. He knows the road to the forest. He has seen Humbaba and is experienced in battles. Let him press first into the passes. Let him be watchful and look to himself. Let Enkidu protect his friend and guard his companion and bring him safe through the pitfalls of the road. When the counselors of Uruk entrust our king to you, we, the counselors of Uruk, entrust our king to you. O Enkidu, bring him back safely to us. Again to Gilgamesh they said, May Shamash give you your heart's desire. May he let you see with your eyes the thing accomplished with which your lips have spoken. May he open a path for you where it is blocked, and a road for your feet to tread. May he open the mountains for your crossings, and may the night time bring you the blessings of the night. And Fuck, we got this. And Legul Banda? Lugul Banda, your guardian god, stand beside you for victory. Why is that Y so fucking tiny? May you have victory in the battle as though you fought with a child. Wash your feet in the river of Humbaba to which you are journeying. In the evening dig a well, and let there always be pure water in your water skin. Offer cold water to Shamash, and do not forget whatever the fuck that name is. Okay, one moment though. How much left do we have of this picture? A lot. Of this page, not picture. Same thing. Kind of. Then Enkidu opened his mouth and said, "Forward, there is nothing to fear. Follow me. For I know the place where Humbaba lives, and the path where he walks. Let the counselors go back. Here is no cause for fear." When the counselors heard this, they sped to the hero on his way. "Go, Gilgamesh, may your guardian god protect you on the road, and bring you safely back to the Quay of Uruk." After 20 leagues, they broke their fast, and after another 30 leagues, they stopped for the night. 50 leagues they walked in one day. In 3 days, they had walked as much as a journey of a month, and 2 weeks they crossed 7 mountains before they came to the gate of the forest. That's a pretty far distance. Then Enkidu called out to Gilgamesh, "Do not go down into the forest. When I opened the gate, my hand lost its strength." Gilgamesh answered him, "Dear friend, do not speak like a coward. Have we got the better of so many dangers traveled so far, turn back at last? You who ride in wars and battles, hold those to me now, and you will feel no fear of death. Keep beside me, and your weakness will pass. The trembling will leave your hand. Would my dear friend rather stay behind? No, we will go down together, in the heart of the forest. Let your courage be roused by the battle to come. Forget death and follow me. A man resolute in action, but one who is not foolhardy. When two go together, each will protect himself and shield his companion. If they fall, they leave an enduring name." This fucking itch is getting really annoying. Together they went down into the forest, and they came to the Green Mountain. They stood still. They were struck dumb. They stood still and gazed at the forest. They saw the height of the Sadar. They saw the way into the forest, and the track where Humbaba was used to walk. The way was broad, and the going was good. They gazed at the mountain of Sadars, the dwelling place of the gods, the throne of Ishtar. The hugeness of the Sadar rose in front of the mountain. Its shade was beautiful, full of comfort. Mountain glade were green with brushwood. There, Gilgamesh dug a well before the setting sun. He went up the mountain and poured out fine meal on the ground and said, "O mountain, dwelling of the gods, bring me a favorable dream." Then they took each other by the hand and lay down to sleep. Okay, they really are hand holding. Oh no. The hand babies. It's really dangerous. Don't do this. And, and sleep that flows from the night lapped over them. Gilgamesh dreamed, and at midnight sleep left him. And he told his dreams to his friend, Enkidu. What was it that woke me, if you did not? My friend, I have dreamed a dream. Get up, look at the mountain precipice. The sleep that the gods sent me is broken. My friend, what a dream I have had. Terror and confusion. I seized hold of a wild bull in the wilderness. I bellowed and beat up the dust till the whole sky was dark. My arm was seized and my tongue bitten. I fell back on my knee. Then someone refreshed me with water from his water skin. Hold on one sec. Somebody wants something from us. One moment. Okay, sorry about that one. But we might have to end the stream in a little bit because our nose is getting really itchy. It might be that we developed an allergy to tea, and that's just really unfortunate, to be honest. Yeah, the thing is, every time we do a stream where we drink tea instead of just water, our nose gets just really fucking itchy. Like, it's really annoying. It might be an allergic reaction to tea. As sad as that is, we'll try a different kind of tea sometime to see if it's just this kind. For now, we'll continue till the stream reaches 3.5 hours at least. Is that good? Just one more hour. Does that sound good to everybody? Also, you can still ask questions for the AMA thing. We will answer them. Right. We will continue reading this next time, by the way. We're not gonna leave it. Okay. Favorite food, pizza. It's especially if it's crust filled and has a lot of meat. That's basically all there is to it. Just a lot of fucking cheese and meat. Right. Together they went down into the forest, and they came to the Green Mountains. There they stood. No, we already read this part. It's right here, right. Enkidu said, Dear friend, the god to whom we are traveling is no wild bull, though his form is mysterious. That wild bull which you saw is Shamash, the protector. In our moment of peril, he will take our hands. The one who gave water from his water skin, that is your own god who cares for your good name. Your blah 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 blah. United with him, together we will accomplish a work, the fame of which will never die. Gilgamesh said, I dreamed again. We stood in a deep gorge of the mountain, and beside it, we too were like the smallest of swamp flies. But yeah, no, the cheese is really good. Not blue cheese, because that's disgusting. And suddenly the mountain fell. It struck me and caught my feet from under me. Then came an intolerable light blazing out, and it was the one whose grace and whose beauty were greater than the beauty of this world. He pulled me out from under the mountain. He gave me the water to drink, and my heart was comforted. And he set my feet on the ground. Then Enkidu, the child of the plains, said, "Let us go down the mountain and talk this thing over together." He said to Gilgamesh, the young god, "Your dream is good, your dream is excellent. The mountain which you saw is Humbaba. Now surely we will seize and kill him," and throw his body down the mountain, fell on the plain. Oh god. Not the fucking nasal constrictor again. This is not fun. I'll stop drinking tea for now. That's 1 hour. How long would that be without drinking tea? But we can do that, can we? I'll just reverse that fucking decision in like 30 minutes. Actually, 15 would be more accurate. Throw his body down as the mountain fell on the plain. The next day, after 20 leagues, they broke their fast, and after another 30, they stopped for the night. They dug a well before the sun had set, and Gilgamesh ascended the mountain. He poured out a fine meal on the ground and said, "O mountain, dwelling of the gods, send me a dream for Enkidu." That's a difference. Make him a favorable dream. The mountain fashioned a dream for Enkidu. It came, an ominous dream. A cold shower passed over him. It caused him to cower. Interesting. Like the mountain barely under a storm of rain. But Gilgamesh sat with his chin on his knees till the sleep which flows over all mankind lapped over him. Then at midnight, sleep left him. He got up and said to his friend, "Did you call me, or why did I wake? Did you touch me, or why am I terrified? Did not some god pass by, for my limbs are numb with fear? My friend, I saw a third dream. This dream was altogether frightful. The heavens roared, and the earth roared again. Daylight failed, and darkness fell. Lightning flashed, fire blazed out. The clouds lowered. They rained down death. Then the brightness departed, the fire went out. All was turned to ashes fallen about us. Let us go down from the mountain and talk this over and consider what we should do." When they had come down from the mountain, Gilgamesh seized the axe in his hand. He felled the cedar. When Humbaba heard the noise far off, he was enraged. He cried out, "Who is that has violated my woods and cut down my cedar?" By glorious Shamash called to them out of heaven, "Go forward, do not be afraid." But now Gilgamesh was overcome by weakness, for sleep had seized him suddenly. A profound sleep held him. That's a very fucking weird place to fall asleep. Like, how? How do you fall asleep in such a place? He lay on the ground, scratched out, speechless. As though in a dream, when Enkidu touched him, he did not rise. But like, didn't they? I guess they were always waking up at midnight because of dreams. It's really weird. Very professional stream here. Kind of forgot to eat beforehand. Okay. When he spoke to him, he did not reply. O Gilgamesh, lord of the plain of Kalab. Kalab? That's a weird name. The world grows dark. The shadows have spread over it. Now is the glimmer of dusk. Shamash has departed. His bright head is quenched in the bosom of his mother, Ningal. O Gilgamesh, how long will you lie like this asleep? Never let the mother who gave you birth be forced in mourning into the city square. Wacky. At length Gilgamesh heard him. Lie put on his breastplate. The voice of heroes, of 30 shekels weight. He put it on as though it had... Fuck! My chicken! God damn it. I fell out of the bun. God damn it. Please don't clip that. uh. See, that's why eating on stream is not very advisable. No, it's my food. Glad I did it well enough to not let anybody notice. Well, until the part that includes the chicken falling and me screaming my chicken. Where were we before the chicken happened? Oh yeah, he put it on as though it had been a light garment that he carried, and it covered him altogether. He straddled the earth like a bull that snuffs the ground, and his teeth were clenched. Can't get over that. By the life of my mother Ninsun, he who gave me birth, and by the life of my father, a divine Lugolbanda, let me live to be the wonder of my mother, as when she nursed me on her lap. A second time he said to him, by the life of blah 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 blah. You get the point. Goddamn stupid itchy nose. Uh, until we have fought this man. If man he is, this God is God, if God he is. The way that I took to the country of the living will not turn back to the city. Then Enkidu, the faithful companion, pleaded, answering him, O my lord, you do not know this monster, and that is the reason you are not afraid. I who know him, I am terrified. His teeth are a dragon's fangs. His countenance is like a lion. His charge is the rushing of the flood. With his look, he crushes alike the trees of the forest and reeds in the swamp. O my lord, you may go on if you choose into this land. But I will go back to the city. I will tell the lady your mother all your glorious deeds till she shouts for joy, and then I will tell the death that followed till she weeps for bitterness. But Gilgamesh said, Immolation and sacrifice are not yet for me. The boat of the dead shall not go down, nor the 3-ply cloth be cut for my shrouding. Not yet will my people be dissolute, nor the pyre be lit in my house and my dwelling burnt on fire. Today give me your aid, and you shall have mine. What then can go amiss with us two? All living creatures born of the flesh shall sit at last in the boat of the west. That rhymes nice. And when it sinks, when the boat of Magillum sinks, they are gone. But we shall go forward and fix our eyes on this monster. If your heart is fearful, throw away fear. If there is terror in it, throw away terror. Take your axe in your hand and attack. He who leaves the fight unfinished is not at peace. Humbaba came out from his strong house of Sadar. Then Enkidu called out, O Gilgamesh, remember now your boasts in Uruk forward. Attack, son of Uruk. There is nothing to fear. When he heard those words, his courage rallied. He answered, Make haste, close in. If the watchman is there, do not let him escape to the woods, where he will vanish. He has put us on the first of his 7 splendors, but not yet the other sects. Let us trap him before he is armed. They gonna gank that fucking idiot. Fucking gank him. Like a raging wild bull, he snuffed the ground. The watchman of the wood turned full threatenings. He cried out. Humbaba came from his death, from his strong house of Ah, sleep well, Mom. Strong house of Sadar. He nodded his head and shook it, menacing Gilgamesh. And on him he fastened his eyes. His eye, the eye of death. Then Gilgamesh called to Shamash, and his tears were flowing. What's with this guy being able to cry at will? Is he like crying from how scared he is? O glorious Shamash, I have followed the road you commanded, but now if you send no succor, how shall I escape? O glorious Shamash heard his prayer, and he summoned the great wind, the north wind, the whirlwind, the storm of the icy wind, the tempest, and the scorching wind. That's a lot of wind. They came like dragons, like a scorching fire, like a serpent that freezes the heart, a destroying flood, and the lightning's fork. The eight winds rose up against Humbaba. They beat against his eyes. He was gripped, unable to go forward or back. Gilgamesh shouted, "By the life of Ninsun, my mother, and divine Lagulbanda, my father, in the country of the living. In the land I have discovered your dwelling, my weak arms are small, and my small weapons have brought this land against you, and now I will enter your house." Just making sure, yeah, it's working. Yeah, the power of crying. uh, my guy just cries at will. Yeah, the lost chicken. Poor chicken. Actually, it's already dead. For me. So he felled the first cedar, and they cut the branches and laid them at the foot of the mountain. At the first stroke, Humbaba blazed out, but still they advanced. They felled 7 cedars and cut and bound the branches, and laid them all at the foot of the mountain. At 7 times, Humbaba loosed his glory on them, and the seventh blaze died out, they reached his lair. He slapped his thigh in scorn. What the fuck? Why is he slapping his thigh? He approached like a noble wild bull roped on the mountain. A warrior whose elbows are bound together. The tears started to again. What the fuck? Started his eyes and he was pale. Gilgamesh, let me speak. I have never known a mother, no, nor a father, who reared me. I was born of the mountain. I was born of the mountain. He reared me, and Enlil made me the keeper of this forest. Let me go free, Gilgamesh, and I will be your servant. You shall be my lord. All the all the trees of the forest that I tended to on the mountain shall be yours. I will cut them down and build your palace. He took him by hand and led him to his house. So this is the heart of so that the heart of Gilgamesh was moved by with compassion. He swore by the heavenly life, by the earthly life, by the underworld itself. O Enkidu, should not be, should not be, should not the snared bird return to its nest, and the captive man return to his mother's arms? Enkidu answered, the strongest of men will fall to fate, if he has no judgment. Namtara, the evil fate that knows no distinction between men, will devour him. Just like it devoured my chicken. God damn you. The snared bird returns to its nest, if the captive man returns to his mother's arms, then you, my friend, will never return to the city where the mother is waiting who gave birth to you, who gave you birth. He will bar the mountain road against you and make the pathway impassable. Baba said, Enkidu, what you have spoken is evil. You are a hireling, dependent for your bread. In envy and for fear of a rival, you have spoken evil words. Enkidu said, Do not listen, Gilgamesh. This Humbaba must die. Kill Humbaba first, and his servants after. But Gilgamesh said, if we touch him, the blaze and the glory of light will be put out in confusion. The glory and glamour will vanish. Its rays will be quenched. Enkidu said to Gilgamesh, not so, my friend. First entrap the bird. And where shall the chicken run to? The chicks run to, not the chicken. This whole chicken thing. Oh god. And where shall the chicks run after? And where shall the chickens run then? Afterwards, we shall search out the glory and the glamour where the chicks run distracted through the grass. Gilgamesh listened to the word of his companion. He took the axe in his hand. He drew the sword from his belt, and he struck Humbaba with a thrust of the sword to the neck. Thrusting at necks is not a very efficient way of doing things. You kind of want to cut the veins if you're like attacking a neck, so slashing would be a lot more effective. Or you could just nail them in the fucking airway and that would mean they die. So if that makes sense too, but like if you're thrusting, there are better places to attack than a neck. That's the way we see it anyway. And Enkidu, his comrade, struck the second blow. At the third blow, Humbaba fell. Then there followed confusion for this was the guardian of the forest, whom they had felled to the ground. For as far as 2 leagues the stars shivered, where Enkidu felled the watcher of the forest. He at whose voice Hermond and Lebanon used to tremble. Oh, they called it Lebanon even before then? That's interesting. Now the mountains were moved, and all the hills, for the guardian of the forest was killed. They attacked the Sadars. The 7 splendors of Humbaba were extinguished, so they passed on into the forest, bearing the sword of 8 talents. They uncovered the sacred dwellings of the Anunnaki. And while Gilgamesh felled the first of the trees of the forest, Enkidu cleared their roots as far as the banks of Euphrates. They set Humbaba before the gods, before Enlil. They kissed the ground and dropped the shroud, and set the head before him. When he saw the head of Humbaba, Enlil raged at them. Why did you do this thing? From henceforth, may the fire be on your faces. May it eat the bread that you eat. May it drink where you drink. Then Enlil took again the blaze and the 7 splendors that had been Humbaba's. He gave the first to the river, and he gave to the lion, to the stone of exertion, to the mountain, and to the dreaded daughter of the Queen of Hell. O Gilgamesh, king and conqueror of dreadful blaze, wild bull who plunders the mountain, who crosses the sea, glory to him. And from the brave greater glory is Enki's. Hold on, where the fuck is this page? Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, since we don't have enough time to continue this whole thing, how many pages would this be? Four more pages? We can do that. Yeah, stream extended, basically. We'll stop the stream once we're done with this chapter. The 3rd tablet. And the death of the best boy. Ishtar and Gilgamesh, and the death of Enkidu. Not 15. This is the 12th one. Just seeing how... Was just looking at the numbers to see how long this tablet will be. And it's not very long, so we'll do this one and finish stream afterwards, since we can't do it in 15 minutes. Okay. Gilgamesh washed out his long locks and cleaned his weapons. He flung back his hair from his shoulders. He threw off his stained clothes and changed them for new. He put on his royal robes and made them fast. When Gilgamesh had put on the crown, glorious Ishtar lifted her eyes. Seeing the beauty of Gilgamesh, she said, "Oh God, one sec. Not gonna make you hear that." Okay. Come to me, Gilgamesh, and be my bridegroom. Oh, no, not gonna say that one. Let me be your bride, and you shall be my husband. I will harness for you a chariot of lapis lazuli and of gold. Fucking lapis lazuli. With heels of gold and horns of copper, and you shall have mighty demons of the storm for draft mules. When you center our house in the fragrance of cedar wood, threshold and the throne will kiss your feet. Kings, rulers, and princes will bow down before you. Yeah, poor Enkidu. Pretty sure we remember the way he dies. And it's like kind of bullshit. Not gonna lie. Kings, rulers, and princes will bow down before you. They shall bring you tribute from the mountains and the plain. From the mountains and the plain. Your ewes shall drop twins, and your goats triplets. Your pack ass shall outrun mules. No, it's not off screen. Pretty sure he dies of poison. Or some shit like that. Oh, was it? One of the gods got really angry at Gilgamesh, so they killed Enkidu. It's something really stupid like that. Your oxen shall have no rivals. Your chariot horses shall be famous far off for their swiftness. Gilgamesh opened his mouth and answered glorious Ishtar. If you take in marriage, what gifts can I give you in return? What ointments and clothing for your body? I would gladly give you bread and all sorts of food fit for a god. I would give you wine to drink fit for a queen. I would pour out barley and to stuff your granary. But as for making you my wife, that I will not. How would it go for me? Your lovers have found you like a brazier which smolders in the cold, a back door which keeps out neither squall or wind. Did he actually just call her a whore? Yikes. My man ripped into her. castle which crushes the garrison. Pitch that blackens the bearer, a water skin that shifts the carrier, a stone which falls from the parapet. Yeah, a battering ram turned back from the enemy, a sandal that trips the wearer. Which of your lovers did you ever love forever? Yikes! What shepherds of yours have pleased you for all time? Listen to me while I tell you the tale of your lovers. There was Tammuz, the lover of your youth. For him you decreed uh, wailing. Year after year, you loved the many-colored ruler, but still you struck and broke his wig. Now in the grove he sits and cries, Cappy, Cappy, my wing, my wing. You have loved the lion tremendous in strength. 7 pits you dug for him, and 7 you have 7 pits you have dug for him, and 7. Yeah, he's ripping into this bitch. You have loved the stallion, magnificent in battle. For him you decreed whip and spur, and the thong, to gallop 7 leagues by force, and to muddy the water before he drinks. And for his mother, Celele, lamentations. You have loved the shepherd of the flock. He made meal cake for you day after day. He killed kids for your sake. And you struck and turned him into a wolf. Yikes! And now his own herd boys chase him away. His own hounds worry his flanks. And did you not love Ishulano, the gardener of your father's palm grove? He brought you baskets filled with dates without end. That's a lot of dates. Every day he loaded your table. Then you turned your eyes on him and said, Dearest Ishulanu, come here for me, let us enjoy your manhood. Come forward and take me, I am yours. Ishulanu answered, What are you asking from me? My mother has baked and I have eaten. Why should I come to such as you for food that is tainted and rotten? For when was a screen of rushes sufficient protection from the force? Yikes! Everybody is ripping into her. But when you had heard his answer, you struck him. He was changed to a blind mole deep in the earth. One whose desire is always beyond his reach. And if you and I should be lovers, should not I be served the same fashion of all these others whom you loved once? When Ishtar heard the story, she fell into a bitter rage. She went up to the heavens, her tears poured down in front of her father Anu, and Antum, her mother. She said, My father, Gilgamesh, has heaped insults on me. he told over all my abominable behavior, my foul and hideous acts. Anu opened his mouth and said, Are you a father of gods? Did not you quarrel with Gilgamesh the king? So now he has related your abominable behavior, your foul, hideous acts. So basically, Gilgamesh called her a whore. She went to her daddy crying, and her dad is like, "So?" Ishtar opened her mouth and said again, "My father, give me the bull of heavens to destroy Gilgamesh. Will, Gil- will Gilgamesh, I say, with arrogance to his destruction. But if you refuse to give me the bull of heavens, I will break in the doors of hell and smash the bolts. There will be confusion of people, those above and those from the lower depths. I shall bring up the dead to eat food like the living, and hosts of the dead will outnumber the living." Anu, Anu said to great Ishtar, "If I do what you desire, there will be 7 years of drought throughout Uruk, when corn will be seedless husks. Have you saved grain enough for the people and grass for the cattle?" Ishtar replied, "I have saved grain for the people, grass for the cattle. For 7 years of seedless husks, there is grain and there is grass enough." When Anu heard uh, what Ishtar said, uh, he gave her the bull of heavens to lead by the halter down to Uruk. When they reached the gates of Uruk, the bull went into to the river with his first snout cracks open. With his first snort, cracks open in the earth, and 100 young men fall down to death. So, the summarization of what just happened is she got called out, then went to her daddy crying for her to get a fucking bull that is so fucking strong that it can fucking snort and kill 100 people to kill Gilgamesh. And in the end, it won't even happen. Because Gilgamesh has plot armor. With his second snore, cracks open and 200 fell down to death. With his third snore, cracks opened. Enkidu doubled over and instantly recovered. He dodged aside and leapt on the bull and seized it by the horns. The bull of heavens foamed in his face, brushed him to the thick of its tail. Enkidu cried to Gilgamesh, "My friend, we boasted that we would leave enduring names behind us. Now trust in your sword between the nape and the horns." Now thrust your sword between the nape and the horns. So Gilgamesh followed the bull. He seized the thick of its tail. Hold on one sec. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, very much not cool. Where were we? So Gilgamesh followed the bull. He seized the thick of its tail. He thrust the sword between the nape and the horns. Oh god. Wait, he grabbed his tail and slew the bull. When they had attacked the bull of heavens, they cut out its heart and gave it to Shamash, and the brothers rested. But Ishtar rose tip and mounted the great wall of Uruk. She sprang out on the tower and uttered a curse. "Woe to Gilgamesh, for he has scorned me in killing the bull of heaven." When Enkidu heard these words, he tore out the bull's right thigh, and tossed it in her face. If I could lay my hands on you, it is this I should do to you. You lash and lash the entrails to your side. Then Ishtar called together her people, the dancing and singing girls, the prostitutes of the temple, the courtesans over the courtesans. Over the thigh of the bull of the heavens she set up lamentation. But Gilgamesh called the smiths and armorers. All of them together they admired the immensity of the horns. They were plated with lapis lazuli, 2 fingers thick. That's really thick. But he carried the horns into the place and hung them on the wall. Then they washed their hands in Euphrates. They embraced each other and went away. They drove through the streets of Uruk, where the heroes were gathered to see them, and Gilgamesh called to the singing girls, "Who is the most glorious of heroes? Who is the most eminent among men?" Gilgamesh is the most glorious of heroes. Gilgamesh is the most eminent among men. And now there was feasting, a celebration and joy in the palace, till the heroes lay down, saying, "Now we will rest for the night." When the daylight came, Enkidu got up and cried to Gilgamesh, "Oh my brother, such a dream I had last night." Anu, Enlil, Ea, and heavenly Shamash took counsel together. And Anu said to Enlil, "Because they have killed the bull of heaven, and because they have killed Hambaba, who guarded the Sadar mountain, one of the two must die." Then glorious Shamash answered the hero Enlil, "It was by your command they killed the bull of heaven and killed Hambaba, and must Enkidu died although innocent." Enlil flung round in his rage and glorious Shamash, "You dare say this, you who went about with them every day like one of themselves?" So Enkidu lay stretched out before Gilgamesh. His tears ran down in streams, and he said, "Gilgamesh, oh my brother, so dear as you are to me, brother, yet they will take you from me." Again he said, "I must sit down on the threshold of the dead, and never again will I see my dear brother with my eyes." While Enkidu lay alone in his sickness, be cursed. Yeah, that's how he dies. Basically, Ishtar is a giant fucking baby. Same goes for her dad. And they curse Enkidu because they hate Gilgamesh. That's the saddest reason anybody should ever die. Like, no. That's not fine. When the daylight yeah, it was Ishtar. It was because of her. When Enkidu lay alone in his sickness, he cursed the gate as though it was living flesh. "You there, wood of the gate, dull and insensible, witless, I searched for you over 20 leagues, until I saw the towering cedar. There is no wood like you in our land, 72 cubits high and 24 wide. The pivot and the ferrule yeah." Poor Enkidu. The pivot of the furl and the jams are perfect. A master craftsman from Nipper has made you. But oh, if I had known the conclusion, if I had known that this was all the good that would come of it. I would have raised the axe and split you into little pieces and set up here a gate of wattle instead. If only some future king had brought you here, or some god had fashioned you. Let him obliterate my name and write his own, and the curse fall on him instead of on Enkidu. With the first frightened With the first brightening of dawn, Enkidu raised his head and wept before the sun god. And the brilliance of the sunlight, his tears streamed down. Sun god, I beseech you, about the vile trapper. Fucking, hold on. Okay. Hmm. That trapper of nothing. That trapper of nothing because of whom I was caught. I was to catch less than my comrade. Let him catch least. Make his game scarce. Make him feeble, taking the smaller of every share. Let his quarry escape from his nets. They had cursed the trapper to his heart's content. He turned to the herald. He was roused to curse her also. As for you, woman, with a great curse I curse you. I will promise you a destiny to all eternity. My curse shall come on you as soon and sudden. One sec. Fucking stupid. Okay. Sorry about that. A destiny to all eternity. My curse shall come on you as soon and sudden. You shall be without a roof for your commerce. For you shall not keep house with other girls in the tavern, but do your business in places fouled by the vomit of the drunkard. Your hire will be potter's earth. Your thievings will be flung into the hovels. You will sit at the crossroads in the dust of the potter's quarter. You will make your bed on the dunghills at night. And by day take your stand in the wall's shadow. Brambles and thorns will tear your feet. The drunk and the dry will strike your cheek and your mouth will ache. Let you be stripped of your purple dyes, for I too once in the wilderness with my wife had all the treasure I wished. When Shamash heard those words, Enkidu, he called to him from the heavens, Enkidu, why are you cursing the woman, the mistress who taught you how to eat bread, fit for gods and drink wine of kings? She who put you upon the magnificent garment, who put upon you a magnificent garment. Did she not give you glorious Gilgamesh for your companion? And has not Gilgamesh, your own brother, made you rest on royal bed and recline on a couch at his left hand? He has made the princess of the earth kiss your feet, and now all the people of Earth lament and wail over you. When you are dead, he will let his hair grow long for your sake. He will wear a lion's pelt and wander through the desert. When Enkidu heard glorious Shamash, his angry heart grew quiet. He called back the curse and said, "Woman, I promise you another destiny. The mouth which cursed you shall bless you. Kings and princes and nobles shall adore you. On your account, a man through 12 miles will clap his hand to his thigh, and his hair will twitch. For you, he will undo his belt and open his no. And you shall have your desire, lapis lazuli and gold and carnelian from the heap in treasury." A ring for your hand and a rope shall be yours. The priest will lead you into the presence of the gods. On your account, a wife, a mother of 7, was forsaken. That's just fucking sad. Like, no. Let's not do that one. As Enkidu slept alone in his sickness and bitterness of spirit, he poured out his heart to his friend. It was like I who cut down the cedars, I who traveled the forest, I who slew Humbaba, and now see what has become of me. Listen, my friend. This is the dream I dreamed last night. The heavens roared and earth trembled back an answer. Between them stood I. Before an awful being and somber-faced man-bird. He had directed on me his purpose. His was a vampire face. His foot was a lion's foot. His hand was an eagle's talon. He fell on me, and his claws were in my hair. Would that be a griffin? That would make a lot of sense. Like a griffin? You know. It's close enough. Like an early version of a griffin. That would make sense. Palmian's claws were in my hair. He held me fast and I smothered. Then he transported me so that my arms become wings covered with feathers. He turned his stature towards me and he led me away to the place of Irkala, Queen of Darkness, to the house from which none who enters ever returns, down the road from which there is no coming back. There's the house of people. There's the house whose people sit in darkness, dust in their food and clay in their meat. They are clothed like birds, with wings for covering. They see no light, they sit in darkness. I entered the house of dust, and I saw the kings of the earth, their crowns put away forever, rulers and princes, all those who once wore kingly crowns and ruled the earth in the days of old. They who had stood in the place of the gods like An and Enlil stood now like servants to fetch baked meats to the house of dust. Carry cooked meat and cold water from the water skin. In the house of dust which I entered were high priests and acolytes, priests of incantation and of ecstasy. There were servers of the temple, and there was Itada, that king of death, that king of Dish, whom the eagle carried to the heaven in the days of old. I saw also Samu Samukan, god of cattle, and there was Erinch Erinch Kigal, the queen of the underworld. And Befet Sherry squatted in front of her. She who is recorder of the gods and keeps the book of death. She she held the tablet from which she read. She raised her head, she saw me and spoke. Who has brought this one here? Then I awoke like a man drained of blood, who wandered alone in the waste of ashes, like one whom uh, the bailiff has seized, and his heart pounds with terror. Gilgamesh had peeled off his clothes. He listened to his words and wept quick tears. Gilgamesh listened, and his tears flowed. He opened his mouth. And spoke to Enkidu. Who is there in strong-walled Uruk who has wisdom like this? Strange things have been spoken. Why does your heart speak strangely? The dream was marvelous, but the terror was great. We must treasure the dream, whatever the terror. The dream has shown that misery comes at last to the healthy man. The end of life is sorrow, and Gilgamesh lamented. Now I'll pray to the great gods, for my friend had an ominous dream. The day in which Enkidu dreamed came to an end, and lay stricken with sickness. One day he lay on his bed, and his suffering increased. One whole day he lay on his bed, and his suffering increased. He said to Gilgamesh, the friend on whose account he had left the wilderness, once I ran for you, for the water of life, and now I have nothing. A second day he lay on his bed, and Gilgamesh watched over him, but sickness increased. The third day he lay on his bed, called out to Gilgamesh, rousing him up. Now he was weak, and his eyes were blind and with weeping. 10 days he lay, and his suffering increased. 11 and 12 days he lay on his bed of pain. Then he called to Gilgamesh, my friend, the great god has cursed me, and I must die in shame. I shall not die like a man fallen in battle. I feared to fall, but happy is the man who falls in the battle, for I must die in shame. And Gilgamesh wept over Enkidu. With the first light of dawn he raised his voice and said to the counselors of Uruk, hear me, great ones of Uruk. I weep for Enkidu, my friend, bitterly moaning like a woman mourning. I weep for my brother, O Enkidu, my brother. You were the axe at my side, my hand's strength, the sword in my belt, the shield before me, a glorious robe, my fairest ornament. An evil fate has robbed me. The wild ass and the gazelle that were father and mother, all long-tailed creatures that nursed you, weep for you. All the wild things of the plain and pastures, the path that you loved in the forest of Sadars, night and day murmurs. Let the great ones of strong-walled Uruk weep for you. Let the fingers of blessing be scratched out in mourning. Enkidu, young brother. park, there is an echo, although an echo through all the country, like a mother mourning. Weep all the path where we walk together. Goes to show that even good people usually they die horrible death. That's been a recurring theme in religion. Like, for about as long as religion existed, actually. Interestingly enough, the people who are most important in religions usually don't die in very pleasant ways. Like, how do we put this? The There's a lot of that happened in Islam actually. Yeah, it's surprisingly a very common reoccurring theme in religion. Is that good people always die in horrible ways. Like in Islam, our prophet died from poison. He was incredibly sick. Yeah, he does. Alright, continuing on. And the beasts we hunted, the bear and the hyena, tiger and panther, leopard and lion, the stag and the ibex, the bull and the doe. The river along whose banks we used to walk weeps for you. Ula of Elam and dear Euphrates, where once we drew water for the water skins, the mountain we climbed where we slew the watchman weeps for you. The warriors of strong-walled Uruk, where the bull of heavens was killed, weep for you. All the people of Eridu weep for you, Enkidu. Those who brought grain for your eating mourn for you now. Who rubbed oil on your back mourn for you now. Who poured beer for your drinking mourn for you now. The herald who's anointed you with fragrant ointment laments for you now. The woman of the place who brought you a wife, a chosen ring of good advice, lament for you now. And the young men, your brothers, as though they were women, go long-haired in mourning. What is this sleep which holds you now? You are lost in the dark and cannot hear me. He touched his heart, but it did not beat, nor did he lift his eyes again. When Gilgamesh touched his heart, it did not beat. So Gilgamesh laid a veil, as one veils the bride, over his friend. He began to rage like a lion, like a lioness robbed of her whelps. This way and that he paced round the bed. He tore out his hair and strewed it around. He dragged the splendid ropes and flung them down as though they were abominations. In the first light of dawn, Gilgamesh cried out, I made you rest on a royal bed. He reclined on a couch at my left hand. The princes of the earth kissed your feet. I will cause all the people of Uruk to weep over you. and raise to die to direct to dirge of the dead and raise the dirge of the dead. The joyful people will stoop with sorrow, and when you have gone to the earth, I will let my hair grow long for your sake. I will wander through the wilderness in the skin of a lion. The next day also, in the first light, Gilgamesh lamented 7 days and 7 nights. He wept for Enkidu until the worm fasted on him. Only then he gave him up to the earth. For the Anunnaki, the judges had seized him. Then Gilgamesh issued and proclaimed a proclamation through the land. He summoned them all, the coppersmiths, the goldsmiths, the stoneworkers, and commanded them, make a statue for my friend. The statue we fashioned with a great weight of lapis lazuli for the breast and gold for the body. A table of hard wood was set out, and on it a ball of cerulean filled with honey, with a bowl of lapis lazuli filled with butter. Then he exposed and offered to the sun and weeping he went away. Yeah, that's the end of it. Yep. We will stop right here. This is the place where we'll stop the stream for today. It's almost been 4 hours since we started the stream. Hilarious. Alright. Yeah, this was a great time, not gonna lie. We would continue, but it's getting really irritating. The whole scratch thing, the whole itch thing on our nose is getting really irritating. We can't really keep talking like this. So we'll send you over to somebody else, and hope you enjoy your time. Alright, have a great day, Denka. Hope we see you again. It's really been a long time. Bye.
Because that's just asking for trouble. Just chatting? Oh, nice. Well, I hope you had a good stream.